How you doing, folks? John,
Andrew,
you know how.
we do.
And how we doing today, man?
How we doing today? We're doing pretty fucking good. Let's just say that. Why are we doing good? Because we just saw another Marvel movie. Now, a little while back, probably a year ago, we did a review on Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, we're doing a review on Deadpool. Now, get this straight. I'm not gonna lie, the best actor they could have gotten for this movie was Ryan Reynolds. He played, now if you know anything about the comic, he played it almost to the T, if not to the T. Ryan Reynolds was a great pick.
Yes,
Y'all did a great job for that.
Yes, he did. Marvel and 20 and Fox. Cheers. Cheers to
for
y'all.
that.
I'm gonna drink to that. I'm drinking water, by the way, not alcohol.
No alcohol. No alcohol.
Nope.
Anyway, so Ryan Reynolds, good on you, bro. Good on you, bro. You did a very good job. Sarcastic to a fault. Sarcastic to a fault. That's how Deadpool is.
Yeah. Yes.
He made that movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, of course, Deadpool. Expecting him to make the movie, but he really made that movie.
Oh yeah.
Now, I don't know the specifics of Deadpool, so I'm gonna let John fill you in on that one. But as far as the movie went, it had. Now, I'm not gonna say it had a lot of action. I mean, it had enough action, but I thought there was gonna be more because considering it was Deadpool. Mm-hmm. But it threw in some action parts there you probably weren't expecting, and I was like, wow, okay. Now the thing I had an issue is they again what Marvel likes to do. They like to change the characters. They like of course now you got, spoiler alert, you got Colossal, and he has this Russian accent, which is I don't know, some kind of accent. He has some kind of accent, and he's of course he's bigger than the Colossus in the X-Men movies, and then of course he comes into play with this chick that basically blows herself up, and they don't play a big part, but the parts they play, it's very interesting. It's very interesting. Like coming to Deadpool and the story. Like I said, I'm not all 100% sure of the story, but the comedy. Now, everybody in the movie theater besides us and maybe a couple of people were actually laughing at the sarcastic thing he was saying, and then if we were like, wow, the things he was doing on the screen, people were just kind of like. They're just watching it completely silent. And I'm like, okay. So basically we're the only ones laughing in the theater, like, we're just looking around like great. Nobody's laughing. It was really kind of awkward. But, that's really my take on the situation. That's my take on the movie. Very good movie. You have to see it.
Yes, go see it.
Go see it.
It's great. No issues. Colossus is Russian, by the way.
Oh, is he Russian? Oh, well, okay. Well, now I know. See, I don't know a lot about Colossus. People I know about is Hulk, Spider-Man, and that's about it.
Colossus is Russian. So, touch on some things about the movie. There are very few actors who can bring these superhero characters to life. For example, we had the great late Heath Ledger who, brought the Joker to life. We have Robert Downey Jr., who brings Iron Man to life, Tony Stark. And now we have Ryan Reynolds, who brings Deadpool to life.
To life.
So it's like, when you've seen the Wolverine origin, you pretty much already knew he cemented himself as Wade Wilson. Like that, this role, it's etched in stone. It's etched in stone for him.
It was meant for him.
And he even says he wants to play Deadpool the rest of his life. He says he wants to play Deadpool the rest of his life. And let him.
Let him.
Phenomenal acting from everybody in the whole film, all the cast. Everyone did great. The music, the choreography, and to touch on some things that Andy talked about, for those people who were in the theaters weren't laughing, it seems like there are some people who go see this movie who don't really know anything about Deadpool. I have read some Deadpool, and I read Cable and Deadpool, and I had read that before Civil War was just taking place. So that was probably maybe when those comics came out, maybe, oh my god, dude, like 20, I don't know, early thousands. I can't remember. I was young. So I got to feel how his character is. And I think some people in theaters who they weren't laughing, just kind of watching like the fuck's going on. I don't think they really had any idea of his personality. So like before, for example, this is what people should do. Before Guardians of the Galaxy came out, I bought a Guardians of the Galaxy graphic novel so I could get some knowledge in, so I could kind of learn a little bit about Star-Lord and all these characters before I go see the movie. And I don't think people did that. But of course, people who are familiar with Deadpool knew when he first came out, he was very serious. He wasn't the merc with the mouth. The original kind of person with the mouth, I would say, would be Spider-Man. And then Deadpool just kind of took off from there and made a name for himself. Yep. And it's... Where did I go from here? So yeah, so I felt that was the issue. As far as the movie, though, aside from the people who just went there just to watch it, also because Ryan Reynolds, his fans, his loyal fans, who love his movies, go see it. The comedy was great. I love the dialogue. Some of my favorite scenes were when Deadpool was in the car with the Indian dude. I forgot his name. I love the dialogue, the conversations they had. It was funny. I love the fact that they were able to make the eyes move through the mask, which helps, again, with his facial expressions. I love that a lot. Brought the character more to life. It's just crazy, though, to see that Ryan Reynolds can portray him so well that, you know, it's like you were saying in the car. What was he saying in the car? Like, if you hung out with Ryan Reynolds, talking about the personality
Well,
traits.
exactly. If what John and I were saying was, if we hung out with Ryan Reynolds, we would want him to be in costume, playing Deadpool, like, to the teeth. Like, we would actually want to be talking to Deadpool.
You know, I want a high five from Deadpool.
Yeah. When you see it, you'll know what we're talking about. You know, we want 10. We want a half. We want a 5. We want a complete 10. Because, you know, it was like I said, it was a great movie. Mm-hmm. It was another Marvel movie that didn't let us down. They had a good amount of action,
mm-hmm.
amount of comedy,
yep.
a great amount of comedy.
Yeah.
And like we said, Ryan Reynolds played it to the T.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't have played that role any better. He put himself in it. Which, yeah. I mean, personally, I think Ryan Reynolds is probably sarcastic like that anyway, so he fit the role, like I said, to the T.
And for those of you, hold on, I'll be right back. I'm going to show you guys something. Give you guys a little tip here. You want to learn a little bit about Deadpool, this is what you do. This is what you do if you want to learn a little bit about Deadpool. Okay? Go out and get the game. Yes, I bought from GameStop. Go on and get the game. So as you can see in the game here, you have, you know, Cable, Wolverine. There's no Colossus, but again, Colossus has something to do with them. But you see Cable there. And just remember Cables, I'm going to say. But if you want to they have little skits in here in the game that give you a little background about Wade Wilson. If you're trying to get some knowledge, or just go to a local comic book store and buy some comics.
And remember, speaking of Cable, you know how Marvel likes to play that whole ending after the ending? Well, just a little hint. Stay after the credits. You know, be sure to sit there until the credits are done, because it's gonna look like, oh, okay, the credits and there's nothing after the end. Well, there is a little bit of something at the end, so just remember to stay after the credits so you can see the extra stuff.
Yeah.
There's not much extra stuff, but it's still a good watch.
And again, if you're not too familiar with Deadpool or anything, going to the movie, you know, you might walk out like, it was okay. And why you're probably gonna say, it was okay, because you don't know anything about Deadpool, or it's kind of like I said, I don't know much about his villains. I just know Domino. I know his thing with Cable because I read the Cable and Deadpool comics. I know he can't obviously die. He has beef with Thanos.
Yeah.
You know, he's always hitting on the X-Men chicks.
Yeah.
I mean, there's, like I said, if you don't know anything, you might go in there just like expecting something crazy like Matrix Reloaded.
Yeah. Ain't the Matrix. No.
You're not gonna get that.
There's no Neo in this.
But if you do know about Deadpool and everything, and you read the comics and know a little about his origins, you'll be satisfied. You're gonna like the movie. Like I said, I don't have an issue with the movie at all. I liked it from beginning to end. We started off at a good pace. It was never a dull moment. There was never a moment where I was kind of like, oh, this movie's lame, or Yeah. I was never bored. It kept me entertained the whole movie.
That's true.
I mean, good simple story that started off. So I mean, like I said, just do some research. And yeah, so there we go. You guys know what it is, man. It's been a while, but about time we do a movie review.
About time.
John.
Andrew.
You know how.
We do.
Go see Deadpool.
See it.